Hello once again, I'm BR Schultz, SP500. It is July 31st, and I've been waiting for a long time for the market to crash, and so the VIX obviously trying to test out the VIX peak model on a daily time frame, and so I want to jump to that right away. So I think the VIX is going to peak on roughly August 8th, plus or minus, right? So there should be some type of macro peak there I'm looking for. If you look back at my previous videos, I think you'll see that there's a weekly peak in the VIX, the macro version. So you'd expect some type of major peak in the VIX on a macro scale around the end of the first week or in early August is what the video stated. So I want to show you the daily model today and my new technique, and let's see what happens going into that. We have about 62 months until we reach the ultimate peak of the markets, and then we start the Great Depression period, where I believe 2031, 2032, and 2033 will all be big red candles down on the S&P 500. So 5 years ago. Let's jump to the models. So here's a nuance that I think is pretty sweet about this VIX peak model. This is the VIX daily data. Basically what I do is I take the VIX daily data and multiply it by 1,000. So instead of working with a small number, right, I'm working with fluctuations of 1,000. And what I found very interesting about this model is that there's actually two trends to every VIX peak, macro peak. I thought that was pretty sweet. So I've highlighted those. You got the white dashed line, the two white dashed lines, right? And then you have quite a significant sequence of counts in the first white trend line. And then the second trend line has also a significant amount of counts, all going to about April 8th in early April, where we had the macro peak in the VIX. And then you look out to mid-June, and surprisingly, there was two trends going out to mid-June. You had one that started back from August of 2024 with a 1, 2, 3 count, and then you had a secondary, which is a 1, 2, 3, 4 count, into predicting that there would be a major peak in the VIX around June 20th. And that's where President Trump bombed the Iranian nuclear facilities, right? And then there was a significant market upshot right after that, right? And same with April 8th. Well, we have the same type of setup right now for roughly that August 8th time frame. So you have a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 count going out into August 8th. And then what I like about the two trends is it kind of helps you pinpoint the date, right? So you could be off a little bit either way with one trend line, but two trend lines is a little easier to believe that if they intersect, if the point is that they intersect, then hopefully there's a lot less room for error in judging the date, right? Or refining the date. And what I really like about this is when I saw the 2 and the 3 count in the black trend line starting on March 25th, that 2 and the 3, that little jog in the sawtooth graph, the Einstein model is what I call it. And also what I like is number 4 exits the trend precisely at the sharp corner of the where the 4 is, right? So where that sawtooth graph goes sideways and then it takes a steep drop, that sharp corner, that box corner that it forms, the 4th point precisely comes out of that corner, right? And if you line that up with point number 1, 2, and 3, it's a beautiful line, a very strong trend, if you will. So I believe that the VIX is going to hit a very powerful peak at that point where the two trend lines are intersecting up there. I believe you're going to have a huge peak in the VIX, or your highest, I should say, the most energy that the VIX can give will push it to its heights. Its highest heights, I believe, will occur right around August 8th, right? So that would be the bottom of the market, right? So I think that we could see a pretty big drop in the market here because, again, we got these two trend lines. So I find it pretty sweet. I doubted it when I first saw it because I've never had a model give me two trends to the exact same date. And if this is true about this model, this could really be life-changing in the fact that I get a buddy system, right? You get a left and a right, and they're both pointing to, both arms are working together, so to speak. The strength of both arms are working towards the same goal. So you got the left arm, right arm, or left trend and right trend, and they're both pointing to the same date up in time. They're both projecting to the same macro peak in the VIX at that time. So does the VIX jump above 30 or near 40 by around August 8th? It could, right? It used to be that when the VIX really got wild, it'd go up to 40, and everyone thought that was the peak, right? The peak in the VIX. So could the VIX jump from, what, I think we had 15 the past couple days, all the way up to 40 by August 8th? We could. I guess if the S&P drops down to roughly 59.50, it's very likely. But I just thought you might enjoy this. I found it very interesting. I'm going to use this obviously in conjunction with my weekly VIX model. And some of you know that I've already got like the VIX looking like a macro peak also around mid to late October. So I'm kind of fascinated and intrigued to see what's going to happen in the VIX model when we get near the end of September, if there's two trends again pointing out to roughly Black Monday of 1987 again, but in 2025. That'd be pretty sweet. But anyways, the point is that this had a double trend to April 8th. It had a double trend to June 18th or June 20th. And it has a double trend to roughly August 8th as a macro pick in the VIX. So that, I believe, that will be the major bottom, major low in the VIX, or major low in markets. The S&P 500 should bottom out, I believe, right around August 8th, plus or minus a little bit, right? Could be morning of August 11th. It could be, or it could be late August 7th or early August 8th, somewhere in there. It looks like that's where the macro peak in the VIX is going to be. So maybe we start down August 8th. Maybe we start down 150 points on the S&P. We have a huge negative start on August 8th, which is a Friday, I believe. And maybe that's the peak in the VIX in the bottom of the market. So a quick 5-minute update for you tonight. I'm pretty interested because obviously if this VIX peak model works with hyper accuracy, it could just be a lot of fun, right? Going forward, especially if we have a 3-year Great Depression from 2031 through 2033, like that's the heart of the Depression. Such a model like this could really be fun because you could pull out the major peaks in the VIX, which is going to be the major sell points in the markets. It could be a lot of fun. So that's my hope. Trying to obviously challenge myself with new techniques, new ideas all the time. Trying to break my normal paradigms and stretch out. What is it called? Dig deeper, so to speak, with my modeling. A lot of times people that get into data, they become kind of numb to it, and it becomes old hat. Whenever my models aren't working to where I want them to be, then I keep trying new ideas, new techniques. I want to be a data scientist extraordinaire. So this is what I'm doing. So again, I think that you're going to have a huge peak in the VIX right around August 8th. Thank you so much for joining me. Until next time, I'm BR SP500 on this journey into the macro peak and the end of 2030, and then a Great Depression window into the 2034 low. Thank you so much. Until next time, I'm BR SP500. Take care. Again, this is just a snippet of the GoFundMe page. I didn't want you to forget that, so thank you. And please bookmark it, whatever, and watch it over the next decade or into late 2034. Thank you so much.